Battlezone, released by Atari into the arcade market in 1980. Little vector graphic game, just line drawings around the place. I believe it was a black and white game that had some coloured overlay plastic sheeting on the glass to give it the green effect. But of course, in modern day and age, we can actually make the colour green. No problemo. Then, of course, it was later ported out to the Atari 2600, Commodore 64 and the VIC-20, IBM PC, and of course the Apple way back in that day. Okay, let's just have a look. Basics of this game. Before we get into that, I'm Mr. Welcome back to the channel. If you're returning, if you're brand new, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel while we've got a little bit of a chance for daily videos that are related in some way, shape or form to gaming in general. Now, the thing with this game, one of the other things about this game, before we have a look at the gameplay, is the original arcade had two handles. One of the handles had a fire button on it. So to operate the tank, you are a tank on a flat field with a volcano in the background, as you could just see then. And every now and then there's a UFO, which is very hard to hit. And you used to have to drive the tank like one track forward, both forward, so on and so forth. You could turn on a spot, fire button. That was it. Controls were pretty simple. Gameplay was a little bit difficult in my opinion, but one of the interesting things is that some of the first arcade games had like a little periscope thing. So you had to kind of lean through and look through this periscope. So because of that immersion in it, some people do think that this was like one of the first VR type games. Anyway, let's get on with the gameplay. Pretty simple gameplay. Now, one of the things that I was a little bit frustrated with within this game on the Atari as well, and that is what you can see here is supposed to be a map. The map was always hard to read, and if you had someone coming up behind you or on your side, you could never turn around in time to shoot them. Enough of that. Let's just get into the gameplay. Now you can see there's an obstacle. I can't shoot obstacles. I mean, I can shoot them, but they don't do much good. Okay, so this is about it. Now I'll probably get another enemy. Whoops, he's facing me and firing at me. So I need to try and come around to him on the slide. He's going to be looking at me as well, and there we go. So that's my most frustrating thing probably in this game. We've just double destroyed each other. There we go. And that's the most frustrating thing that I have in this game, at least anyway. And that is, once you get to the side, these things cannot, whoops, move away. And now I'm just going to have to run around. If I try to go, he's just going to keep turning around. And you watch, I'm just going to try and catch up behind him, but he'll shoot me, and as I keep turning to the right, there he is. So it didn't matter what I did, I could never come around quick enough to get a hold of him. So let's just have another go here. That was probably my biggest frustration of the game, and that is exactly what you see here. So now he's going backwards, so I can't really stop him going forwards, going backwards. Now this might be a good trick that I can use. Certainly I'll keep that in mind. So if I get something that is no good for me, then I will certainly go backwards. Oh, he's got me. So see, at that point, now I've got a little barrier in my way. I'm just showing you can't shoot through the barrier. So he can't shoot through the barrier either. So I'm just going to keep going backwards, let him come forwards, and whoops. Okay, so it's whoever turns around for the quickest. That's basically, now I've got someone to my left, and okay, so maybe I needed to do something different to get away, but this was my biggest frustration in the game. and that is exactly this. Once they're out of your sight, enemy in range, like straight in front of me, that like just popped up. Okay, again, frustration of the game. Let's go. All right, so he's just going to have a shoot at me, and yeah, all right, great stuff here. But this is a pretty accurate version of the game. The map is not working so great at the moment. And of course my targeting is not working so good. They seem to never miss really when they turn around. Once they actually get the shot off, they always hit you. Now, of course, you know, if I can get the UFO, now somewhere on my left, there is something on my left. But I know if I turn around, now if you have a look at the little clock just above me, you can see how it's just dwindling away. Okay. Now you can see it's directly behind me. That's I thought the map was in the middle. And you can see that it's actually trying to follow me. So I thought the map was over to the side. I didn't realize the thing in the middle was actually the enemy, was the radar. I didn't realize that. So I've just realized that now that I was looking in the wrong place the whole time. The radar is actually right in front of you, not the little map on the side. The little map on the side is for other things. Okay, good to know. So I've been playing this game for years and I didn't even know this. So we mutually self-assured destruction. Let's have another go. Now that we've learnt a little bit more about the radar, I have a better sense of what I'm doing when I have something in that radar sort of area. And what was that? Did I just bump into something then? Oh, I bumped into a triangle. Ah, okay, now we see that. So that's my little viewing platform. That's basically what I've got. So my little angle of viewing, that's the little thing that looks like 11 and 1 on the radar hands. So now I can see how I can keep that enemy in my range while I'm circling around. Okay, it's not something I've ever sort of realized I could do before, but now I am. And as you can see, he is constantly just shooting at me. Oh, got that thing. I don't know what that was, but I was blocked by something. So enemies in range. So yeah. So sometimes the UFOs do shoot at you, and I think we're mutually missing each other here, and we just mutually took each other out. Okay. Okay. So I've never. Oh. All right. One more. Let's have one more game. So yeah. All right. So it looks like all this time I've never actually known how to play this game, and I'm discovering that. I'm discovering just now how to play it. But yeah, frustrating little game. When they do that, it's very frustrating as well. And I've never really been able to just like semi kind of hide behind a block or anything like that. Well, you know, I mean, that was a bit of a surprise really, wasn't it? Immediately to my left, there we go. You can't get those things. I've never been able to hit one of those UFO things. You know, tank, yeah, I've 3 shots to get that tank and he was standing still. You know, so I'm really a gun player at this game. Whoops, I'll just have to drive forward. He's got me. Okay. All right, so I've got him. Obviously, the controls are not entirely accurate here. Whoops. Oh, mutually self-assured destruction. Well, I got a little bit of a letter up at least anyway. So we can just get my name. I've had a few games at this, obviously as well. So we'll go. What we're doing, Mr. Gaming. H-A-M-O-P-Q and G. Whoops, no, we'll go that way. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There we go. So as you can see, the top three scores, Mr. Gaming, AAA, and Mr. Gaming, they're all my scores actually. So I had a with the second one, AAA, I just went enter, enter, enter. I didn't bother putting in Mr. G. So that is Battlezone from Atari, released in 1980. Link to this game in the description below. Browse the game. It has been released. Modern versions of the game, PlayStation, Xbox did slightly different versions of it. I believe there was a VR version as well. If you've played it, let me know in the comments below. But until next time, thanks for watching.